Just laying down. And the feet can be on the mat with the feet wide towards the outer edges, and let the knees fall in, and then just rest your hands on your body. Start to just breathe. Allowing the back body to kind of descend into the earth behind you, and then this blanket of the front body also just softening. So attuning to your density. Maybe just allowing things to get a little bit heavier. So if you could let everything go. Scan your body, notice where you might unknowingly be holding tension. Face, jaw, eyes, behind the forehead, inner ears, nasal passages, ankles. Maybe your toes are even holding on and you didn't realize it. Scan the body, let a wash come over you as a release. And then walk your feet in so they're about hips width apart, and cross your left ankle up and over your right thigh, creating this figure 4 shape. You can start to draw that in any way that feels good, holding maybe the hamstrings of your right leg, the shin bone of your right leg, or even just kind of using your hands to lever this a little bit into finding places that feel good. You can create a greater sense of opening. And notice the lower back, the broadening of the low back, the band of the low back. You might pull the belly in and kind of allow for the low back to descend into the mat. Just recognizing where you are. And then keeping the legs as they are. We're just noticing your right heel, bringing your attention to your right heel. You're going to cross the right heel over towards the left sitting bone. And if you can, capture with your left hand the top of the right foot. And then free this left ankle. And if your body allows, can you bring the complex of your right leg down to the earth, letting that right leg come all the way down. And it might feel a little more accessible to just let your left foot come to the earth now. And your right arm can go over your head. Ways to deepen it would be hugging the left knee in or sending your left leg long towards the sky. With your feeling into the groin, hip flexors, top of the right thigh. So different ways of just kind of exploring, and then notice your belly pulling in. It intensifies it if you engage through the belly, and you let your right knee get even heavier. So that right knee joint is descending down towards the ground as your belly pulls in, and right away you get a lot more out of the top of the thigh. And then we'll release the left foot down and bring the right foot to kind of mirror. So you've got your 2 feet on the ground, knees bent, and then lift your hips up into a bridge. And just kind of notice the difference between the right side and the left side. And then set it down. And cross your right ankle up and over. So your figure 4 shape on this side. And then draw that in. Anything goes with the hands. Sometimes I like to bring my right hand to the inner knee or the inner thigh. As I seal the low back to the mat, I kind of push in opposition with the right hand to that right thigh. And so I can get more out of it. So you're just playing with where can I create more space. And then the left heel, just bring your awareness there. Now let the left heel come over towards the right sitting bone. Your right hand reaches around and captures. So you've got heel bone to sit bone, opposite heel bone to sit bone. Free your right leg, and then can you let your left leg just fall to the earth? Your right foot might come to the ground. I think that is the most accessible place. If you want more, the knee draws in, or the leg extends towards the sky if you also want to explore your hamstrings. Left arm could go over the head if you're not using it for some other purpose like me. Another couple of breaths. Eventually we're gonna meet with the right foot down. We're gonna free that right or the left leg out, and we'll come into another bridge so you can lift the hips up. And then slowly lower down. We'll rock up to a seated position to transition. So we're gonna go from being on the back body to being on the front body. So you can go ahead and come up and then lay down, resting your head on either the stacked palms or the stacked forearms. Eventually setting ourselves up to take a half frog Mandukasana. So you're laying belly down. You're going to take the right knee out to the right and create a 90-degree angle out there. So your knee joint at the same-ish height as your right hip, and then the ankle in line with the right knee. Okay, so once you kind of have that, and mine's sort of being feisty, but and sometimes that the muscles start to hold on. Let it all happen naturally for you. And then this half Mandukasana shape as you are prone, belly down. And just breathing into letting kind of go. Your left leg, you might notice it and engage it and then let it fall soft again. So you're aware of its presence. And then you'll start to bring the right leg back in. And prop yourself up onto your elbow points. And then bend your right knee. And see if you can just reach around and bring the heel bone a little closer to the sitting bone. So however you need to hold on to your foot to gently draw down, maybe pushing the knee down into the earth, the thigh bone down into the earth. And then holding the foot in the hand, you kind of think more dancer's pose. So begin to kick the foot into the hand, push off through the elbow. Breathing into that. And then a gentle release. When we come down, we'll come to Makarasana again. Forearms or palms stacked. And your left knee can open out to the left in a 90-degree angle. And just letting yourself get heavy. So awaken for a second your right leg so it's there and you feel the connection to it. And then just let it go soft. So your front body is descending down now and you're blanketed by your back body. And then bring the left thigh back in to meet the right one. Prop yourself up onto your forearms. Bend your left knee. And reach around with your left hand to capture somewhere on that foot. I'm holding the pinky toe side and then drawing the inner ankle back towards the midline. Pull the heel bone down towards the earth. And after a few moments of experiencing that, and then you can kick the foot into the hand. Lifting the heart, pushing off through the elbow. And then release, and Makarasana, rock your hips side to side. So just let your hips sway. You could be really getting a nice rocking going to release into the very low back. And then push yourself up into Vajrasana, where you're seated on your shin bones. So your hips to your heels, bring your body upright. Rest your hands on your lap, pull the belly in. And then when you're ready for an inhale, we're going to stand up on the shin bones and take the arms out at shoulder height. So you'll inhale and come up. Stay here as you exhale, establish your legs. So just really feeling like the tops of your feet and the shins. There's the base of the tail moving towards the backs of your knees. And just like you're laying on a slanted plank, you're you're just gonna go back. So you've got your quads actively engaged while they're stretching. Just a little bit of the pubic bone moving towards the low ribs. Arms out, a little bit further back if you can, and then inhale, come up, and exhale, sit down. And then you can flow with that on your own. So you inhale to rise, arms up. Exhale to lay back. Inhale to rise. Exhale to settle. Hips to heels. So just find your own rhythm. I'm going to be quiet while you kind of lock into your own breath, the metronome of your breath. And we'll get a couple more. Squeaky spot on my floor. All right, this is the last one. When I come up, now I'm going to go to table pose. So when you're ready, meet me in table pose. From table, take your right arm forward and your left leg back. So you're in a spinal balance. You're going to really zipper up through the navel, right up the spine, holding here. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, settle back into a child's pose for a moment. Hips to heels. And then pull yourself back up to table and take the left arm forward and the right leg back. Establishing where you are in space, hold for a moment, zipper up through the belly. It's kind of moving again the pubic bone towards the low ribs. Maybe broadens the low back. Take a breath in and settle back into child's. Hand and knee come down. And then flow with that inhale, come up, right arm forward, left leg back. Exhale, settle back to the ground. Left arm forward, right leg back. And then settle back down to the earth, child's. Come up, right arm forward, left leg back. This time bring your elbow to your knee underneath you. Expand and release down. Come back up, left arm is forward, right leg is back. This time elbow to knee. Expand and settle back, child's. Now come up, right arm forward, left leg back, same as before, elbow to knee. We'll expand again, breathe in, but this time bend your left knee, reach around with your right hand, capture hand to foot, and see if you can kick. Belly in, right arm forward, left leg back, release back down, child's pose. And then come up, left arm forward, right leg back. First it's elbow to knee, so you curl in. Expand, breathe in. This time bend the knee, reach around. Left hand captures right foot, kick the foot into the hand. When you're ready for an inhale, left arm forward, right leg back. Settle back into child's pose. And now if you're using blocks, which might be helpful for some lunging work and stuff, you might bring them in so they're up towards the top of your mat. And we'll inhale forward to table pose and exhale into downward facing dog. So Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Just find your way. And then take your right leg way up and back behind you. Oops. Exhale, knee to nose. Right leg up and back. And right foot forward in between the hands. So pause for a moment, breathe naturally. We'll either be hands on blocks or on the fingertips or hands down, some variation of that to lunge here. And so you want to kind of pull yourself in opposite directions. Think of the back heel pressing back as if it's pushing into a wall. The right shin bone forward, but this right hip crease back. So you're kind of pulling yourself in opposite directions. Lift the heart, lift the chin, take a breath in. Your hips might drop a little bit. And as you exhale, a low pyramid pose variation. You can be on the ball mound at the back foot. Maybe you bring your toes towards your shin bone, just bowing in over this right leg. And then when you feel ready for it, we will rebend into the right knee. Maybe take the blocks with you if you're using them. Launch your left leg into the air. And take a full inhale. And then as you exhale, curl your left knee in and behind your right one and just chamber everything in. And then expand the leg again, reaching left leg up and back and forward fold, feet side by side. Now when we stand up, the right knee is going forward. So standing knee raise, a full inhale, come all the way up and take your right knee forward, arms over the head. Just pause for a moment so you can feel what's here. Maybe you're wobbling. Maybe you feel super solid today. Maybe it's somewhere right in the middle of that. Take a full breath in, and as you breathe out, right hand to the sacrum. Take your left hand to your right thigh. Keep the knee sort of right in front of the hip joint so you have a little bit of leverage into the hand, and then rotate. So there's a little bit of this abduction of the right leg moving out towards the, away from your midline. Roll the shoulders down and back, rotate here. And then when you're ready for an inhale, extend the leg forward, right leg forward, arms up. We're stepping back to low lunge and set the back knee down. And now arms all the way up. Inhale, asana. As you exhale, bend the elbows, or maybe it feels good to bind your hands behind the back and drive the knuckles down. And then inhale, arms up. As you exhale, hands to the earth. And we'll take the left leg up and back behind us. So it's a 3-limb down dog. Tuck your right toes under, ground through the palms, left leg up and back. And then the knee comes into the nose. And then the left leg rises up. And we'll step through. Keep the back knee lifted, maybe the blocks under the hands. Allow that right heel to draw back, left shin bone forward, left hip crease back. Really pulling yourself apart. Lift the heart and drop your hips. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, you can straighten the forward leg to the degree that it allows you. Invite it to you. Maybe draw the toes up towards the shin bone. And then when you feel ready, reground the foot if it's lifted. Bend the left knee, float your right foot into the air. Take a full inhale to the expansion. Chamber in a little Shiva squat. Your right knee kind of comes in and behind the left, and you look forward. And then take the leg up. And right foot meets the left, forward fold, hang your head. When you stand up, you're taking the left knee forward this time. So find your right foot, grow some roots down there. Take your left knee forward and your arms over the head. Just take a second. First time this side. How does it feel to be here? Take a full inhale. Find the knee in front of the hip. Left hand sacrum, right hand left thigh. And a little bit of energy of thigh into hand. Use that to rotate to the left. Pull the belly back. Lift the upper sternum. Lift the upper palate. Come back to center. Left leg forward. Arms up. Kick out. Exhale. Step back. Asana, back knee down. Inhale the arms up and either cactus the arms or maybe it feels good to bind the knuckles. And then arms up, inhale. And we'll exhale, hands to the mat. Repeating this, right leg up and back. And knee to nose curl in. Right leg up and back. Right foot forward, exhale, keep the back knee lifted, but let the hips get heavy as you lift your heart. And then low pyramid, your variation, straighten both legs. Launch the left leg into the air, halfway lift, left leg lifted. Chamber the left knee in and behind the right one. Shiva squat, and then left leg up again. And feet together, forward fold. Stand up, right knee forward, take a big breath in. We're rotating to the right, right hand sacrum, left hand right thigh. Kick that whole right leg out as you take your arms up and step back for Asana. Back knee down, arms rise, fill up. Bend the elbows, open the heart. Your variation there, inhale the arms up, and as you exhale, hands to the mat. Tuck the back toes, left leg up and back. Curl your knee into your nose. Left leg rises up and back. Step the left foot gently forward. Dip the hips as you lift the heart. As you exhale, straighten both legs-ish. Maybe the toes pull back towards you. And then reground the foot as you launch the right leg into the air. Metronome with the breath. Curl in Shiva squat, right knee behind left. Extend the right leg again, way back behind you as the heart and crown reach forward. And then feet together, forward fold. Stand up, left knee forward. Inhale. Twist to the left, right hand, left thigh, open out. Extend through the left leg, inhale. And as you exhale, step back. Drop the back knee gently. Arms rise up, inhale. Maybe the cactus arms, maybe the vine. Arms up, breathe in. Hands to the mat. 3-limb down dog, last time. Knee to nose. 3 limbs, inhale. And step through, just dipping the hips, lifting the heart, fill your lungs. Both legs towards straight, inhale. Reground the right foot, launch the left leg. Curl in Shiva squat. Inhale, left leg up. Feet together, forward fold. Standing knee raise, the right knee goes forward, the arms rise. Twist to the right, exhale. This time you can either take your left hand to your right thigh, or you can try to capture hand to foot, extending the leg forward. Right arm can reach behind you or just stay grounded right at the sacrum. And now arms up, right leg forward, step back, Anjane asana. Exhaling, the back knee comes down, the arms rise up. Exhale, hands to the behind or bending the elbows. And then arms up, fill up. And we go to the other side, hands to the earth. Exhale, take your left leg up and back. Curl the knee in to tap the nose. Take the leg high. Step it gently through, floating it forward, and then dip your hips and lift your heart. Travel the legs towards straight, exhale. Launch the right leg into the air. Knee in behind the left one. Chamber it in and right leg high. And then forward fold. Standing knee raise, left knee forward, arms up. Ooh, and we rotate. You can either take hand to thigh or hand to foot and see what's there. Opening the heart to the left and breathing for a moment as you explore. Hold the belly in, upper sternum, upper palate lift, left leg forward, arms up. Ooh, exhale, step back. Low lunge, back knee down. Anjane asana, lift the arms. Bend the elbows or bind the hands and then arms reach. And exhale, hands to the mat for plank. So step your right foot back and hold your plank. Upper sternum reaching forward, heel bones drawing back. Inner thighs lifting, belly pulled in. Heart reaching forward, crown reaching forward. Full inhale, shift forward as you exhale. I'm gonna set the knees down for this first one and lower all the way to my belly. And then preparing for seal, I'm gonna walk my feet a little wider towards the outer edges of the mat. And then checking in with the spine, coming into this back bend. Okay, you can keep the elbows bent as much as you need to. Turn the fingers out, so you can't really see I've got my hands a little wider than I would for upward facing dog, and my fingers are turned out. And then roll the shoulders down the back, lift the upper sternum, push the feet into the floor, look over your right shoulder. And then come to the center. Look over your left shoulder. And then come back to center. Push off through the hands. Maybe you bend the knees and let the head fall back. And then release. We're coming onto hands and knees. You might pause in cat for a moment. So feeling into the expansion of the back sheath of the body here, tucking the tail, chin into the chest. Or even coming up onto the finger pads and kind of exploring that back body. And then we'll come into a modified side plank. So we can play a little bit with binding and balance. So left hand, got the center of the wrist under the center of the shoulder, and the left knee under left hip, and then step the right foot to the back edge of the mat. So I'm not mirroring you here. Got your left hand down, your right foot back. And then lift your right foot into the air. Kind of extend through the heel. See if you can bend the knee, reach around, capture hands and foot. I have my left foot askew, so it's not streaming straight back from the knee. I'm using it as a kickstand. And then kick the foot into the hand. Opening, I can feel a nice stretch across my pec. A little bit in the biceps, of course the top of the thigh, nice backward bend happening. The belly has to engage to support us. Big breath in. Big breath out, we'll gently release. Come back onto hands and knees, curl in for a moment into cat. And then I'm going to turn away from you, coming onto the other side. So it'll be right hand down, standing on the right knee with the toes pivoting behind. There's the kickstand, and your left foot steps back. And then float the left foot into the air. Start to bend the knee, and reach around, capture hand to foot, and just gently kick. So notice how you can become more whole through the posture. It's an incremental backward bend, so it's not just a hinge at the lower back. You can kind of feel how you support with the front body, the lengthening of the extension, if that makes sense to you. The lengthening of the extension. So you're arcing back, but you're still pulling in opposite directions from the base to the crown. Take one more breath in. As you breathe out, we'll release that. Coming back to hands and knees, a little cat pose to kind of just gently neutralize the spine. And then downward facing dog. Downward dog is going to be a little bit shorter stance than usual. So when you get to your downward facing dog, just step your feet in a little closer to your hands, and then turn your toes out and your heels in. So it looks like you have these little duck feet. So just arriving there, and then take your right leg up towards the sky. Bend the knee, fold open. Really establish yourself through the right hand and then left foot. You can have the knee bent if you need to, want to, the left knee. And then maybe come onto the finger pads of your left hand. See how the balance is there. And if you have it, you might inch that left hand over to meet the right foot behind you. And heel bone to sitting bone to start. Lift the knee complex up. Then maybe find a back bend. Watch yourself. I'm looking forward, just playing with that. And then when you release, it's gentle, left hand down, right leg high, and the right foot comes down to meet the left. And then left leg up, bend the knee, fold open. Feeling into what we got going on, and then you might come onto the right finger pads. Always look towards the earth at that point. And on the right hand, maybe you have the stability there to come around and capture hand to foot. First heel bone to sit bone. Lift the knee complex. Then try to find the back bend. Balancing, whoa, breathing. It's all in the play, it's not in the perfection. It's all in the inquiry. Left leg up, right hand down. Downward dog. Set your feet back to their normal sort of downward dog position for you. Hips width, nice longer stance. Pull forward plank. Lower chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward dog. I'm here now, I am. What's behind us is behind us, right? Take your right leg up and back. Right foot forward. Spin the back heel down. And come up for warrior one. So warrior one. Arms up. Pause for a moment, just breathe. A little gentle right hip pulling back, left hip pulling forward. Torso turn toward the top of the mat. Full inhale breath. When you're ready for it, reach through the fingertips as you exhale. Bring the hands down, bind them behind the back. Drag the knuckles down as you oppose that by lifting the upper sternum, just being pulled up by the breastbone, look up. And then humble warrior. So the right hip gently pulling back as the right shin bone moves forward. Opposition there, knuckles away from the tail, ground and engage through the back leg. You're recognizing your place in the space that you take up. When you're ready, you can come back up, arms over the head. We're preparing for dancer's pose. So you're gonna keep your right arm up. Bring your left elbow down towards the side ribs with palm turned up, just as if you were carrying a tray over there. And then bring the weight into the right foot. When you're ready for an inhale, your left sit bone, or your left heel bone, I should say, comes to your left sit bone. And you can capture hand to foot. And then draw the inner thighs together. Descend the knee towards the earth, little tuck of the tail, and really pull the heel towards the sit bone. So there's that quad. Now you can keep your hand where it is, or maybe move it towards the inner part of the foot for Natarajasana. The inner ankle pulls towards midline. And then inhale here as you exhale, we'll kick the foot into the hand. Breathing, lifting, teardrop shape. When you're ready to come out, take the left knee forward, big inhale breath, and as you exhale, we'll set the ankle to the thigh and slide down the wall behind you in a figure 4 shape, standing on the right leg. Now I got my hands on my hips, preparing for what's next. You can bring your hands to your hips. This is either standing hand to knee or standing hand to big toe. So when we were laying belly down, we came into Mandukasana, half Mandukasana or frog. You can mirror that, holding left hand, left knee, or you can take peace fingers around the big toe and open up to standing hand to big toe. Utthita Hasta Payusasana. Okay, so you can feel into how open your hamstrings are, how stable you feel, what's right for you. Another big breath in. Back to center, left ankle comes back onto the thigh. Slowly slide down with your arms kind of tracing the shin bone, just slowly starting to lower till your fingertips, maybe they come all the way to the earth. And then airplane pose. So launch airplane pose. And then we'll set the left foot down behind us. Reverse warrior. So as your back heel comes down, you might create a little more space between the front foot and the back foot. You kind of have this heel to arch alignment, front of the mat to the back of the mat, just somewhere in that kind of vicinity. And then left arm trickles down the back leg as the right arm goes up and back. Take a full breath in, moving towards extended side angle. Block might be useful. I'll place mine right outside the right foot. And then this nice long line of energy from your outer left ankle to the tips of your fingers, with your left arm reaching over the head, bringing it right by the ear. Tuck your right ribs under your left, reach and breathe. Warrior 2 is coming, so you can leave that block down there if you're using it. Come up to Warrior 2. Level off. And then I'm going to bring the left hand onto my left hip. And just tiptoe my left foot in a bit so I can make my way into a half moon position. Ardha Chandrasana, so the right hand can come onto the block. And I'm just going to let my left foot float into the air. Seeing what's here, stacking the left side body on top of the right. Perhaps investigating Chapasana, which would mean bending the left knee, bringing the hand to the foot, and kicking the foot into the hand. Standing splits when you're done with this, so you can free the bind, look towards the earth, bring the hands down, and chamber into that Shiva squat. But even for a second, set your shin bone down and just take a pause. So you actually get a break. And then take your left leg back up to the sky. So you're back in a standing split. The block can be there if you would like. Now bend your left knee, let the left heel bone fall towards the right sitting bone. You've had this sensation before several times. Keep your left fingertips connected to the earth. Take the right hand to that left foot. Pull the heel bone towards the sitting bone and lift the knee complex up. Then put a soft bend in your right knee. Look forward and see if you can stand up into a revolved dancer. So find your stability, take all the time you need. Eventually you're going to be kicking the foot into the hand. And I think it helps to start right away, finding that energy, kicking the foot into the hand. Coming all the way up. When you're ready to release, hug the left knee in. Release it down and then hug the right knee in. So it's challenging. And then 2 feet on the ground. And we'll just kind of wipe the slate clean. So when you're ready for an inhale, lift up onto your tippy toes and take your fingertips towards the sky. When you exhale, just bring the hands down in front of you, just like you're pushing something down. Slowly you ground the heels back to the earth, and it comes all the way through the body. So we'll do it 3 times. Inhale, arms up, come up onto the tippy toes. Energetically, just pushing the energy back down as you slowly descend your heels. Again, inhale, come up. Maybe it's 4 times, I can't remember. Exhale, push down and heels down. And now just Tadasana. You might close your eyes or Ardha Drishti. You're looking towards the earth or letting your eyes fall to half mast. Or they could be closed. Just looking inside. I'm here now, I am. Inhale your arms up, look up. Exhale, bow forward, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, Chaturanga, Dandasana. Step back plank, you can always lower the knees, lower halfway or to the belly. Push off for up dog cobra. Downward facing dog. Feel your down dog. Maybe it's time for child's pose. Maybe it's a time for Vajrasana, seated on the shin bones. It's a time to assess how you're doing. It's an in-between point. We'll meet eventually back in downward facing dogs. If you're taking a little reprieve, take it as long as you'd like. You can always catch up with us at your leisure. And then we'll slowly lift the left leg up and back behind. Left foot forward. Preparing for warrior 1. Spin the back heel down. And just start to come up. Arms can go over the head. Just establishing yourself in your warrior stance. Really reaching the fingertips. And then bind the hands behind the back. For balance, maybe you find that opposite grip. Noticing habitual patterns. Drag the knuckles down. Take a full inhale to lift your heart up. And then bow in, humble warrior. Just finding the balance between where is my leg falling open, am I collapsing? Can I work the unit as a whole? The unit of your body. You're ready, you're going to start to come back up. Strong through the legs. Inhale the arms over the head. Keep the left arm up, bring the right elbow into the right ribs. When you feel ready, we'll start to launch and bring the right heel to the right sitting bone. And then just find this inner thighs together, right knee heavy. Energy of heel bone to sit bone. Lift the upper sternum, pull the belly in. Dancer's pose is next. If you want to keep this grip, great. If you want to Come to the inner part of the foot. Just remember to draw the inner ankle towards the midline. And we'll move into dancers. Right hip softening down towards the earth. And then when you come out, bring the right ankle onto the left thigh. Slide down the wall behind you in your figure four, and hands can land on your hips. And then it's either hand to knee or hand to big toe. We're opening out to the right. So establish the left leg. Peel open. Listen to your hamstrings. When you come back, you set the ankle to the thigh again, and just with the arms kind of sliding in front of the shin bone, all the way to touch the earth. Ish. Airplane pose next. Fly that right leg. Take a moment to notice this, where you are, and then set the foot down. Preparing for reverse warrior. Right hand trickles down the back leg, left arm reaches up and back. A nice big breath in, moving to extended side angle, block or hands, forearm to thigh. Kind of see what you got on this side. And then warrior two is coming, so when you feel ready, come up, warrior two. And then right hand to right hip. Tiptoe the right foot in a little bit. Feel free to place the block out in front of you, setting up for half moon. So as you're ready, we launch. Stacking right side body on top of left side body. And the option to bind this, right hand, right foot. So bend the knee, steady your gaze, reach hand to foot. Could be heel bone to sitting bone first, and then the back bend as you kick and open. Notice where you are. When you release, we're going to standing splits, so find your center. Right leg high, inhale, and then give yourself a reprieve for a moment. You're sitting all the way back. Shin bone down, Shiva squat-ish thing. And And then we come back to standing split. So the right leg up, left leg is your base. Right heel is falling towards left sitting bone, the knee lifts up. You stabilize with the right hand and opposite hand, opposite foot. First, again, heel bone to sit bone, lift the knee complex. And then look forward and start to bring the back bend in. I like to soften again my left knee and really look forward, start to find the energy of foot into hand, and then come up. And then kick the foot really into the hand and create that bow shape. Stay and breathe for maybe 3 more breaths. When you're ready to come out, you release, hug the right knee in, and then set it down, and then hug the left knee in, and then set it down. And then come up onto your tippy toes, rise the arms up. And slowly, just like water draining down, bring the hands down, slowly matching that cadence, set the heel bones down. So you wash over the whole body, and then inhale, come up, heel bones lift, arms up. Exhale, slowly come down and heel bones down. How about one more time? Inhale, lift up. Exhale, gently, slowly drain and ground. And now Samastiti, you can step to the top of the mat. So 2 feet on the ground, nice and steady. Energy up the body, let the hands meet in front of the heart, lift from the base of the skull, broaden and lift from the collarbones. Just appreciating as best we can the moment that is presenting itself. We attune to the body, we attune to the present moment. We can call it mindfulness. We can actually feel a sense of slowing time, of accepting what is, of being right here, right now. Inhale your arms over your head and look up. Exhale, bow forward, forward fold. Halfway lift, lengthen. Left foot steps back behind you and the back knee comes down. Rise the torso and just set your hands onto your right thigh. So you're in this kind of low lunge Anjaneyasana asana shape. And you might kind of feel a sense of pulling the belly of the muscle forward, maybe even kind of patting it forward, almost like you're kneading bread or something. But at the same time, hugging the right hip crease back. And you might bring your left hand onto your sacrum. Start to lift the upper sternum. Again, like you're really pulling upward. And the right arm up and maybe back. This left hand could travel down to your calf or maybe all the way to your heel. In order for me to do that, I tuck my toes under and then I can come back into this half camel. So again, hand on sacrum, toes just streaming back might be plenty, but there's a lot of places to go there. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, bring the hands down to the earth, step the right knee back, curl into cat pose and wag your tail a little bit. I'm up on my finger pads. I think it feels really good and gives me a little bit more of a stretch sensation. And then I'm just coming back to some more traditional table where I'm going to step the left foot forward and I'll just move my left hand out of the way. Bringing the hands under the thigh again, kind of kneading. And then this left hip crease is kind of drawing back against that energy of pulling forward. This is a little anchoring sensation. Right hand onto the sacrum. Again, you know where you were on the other side, so it might be nice to tuck your toes under if you're going for that hand to heel, left arm up and back, and just lay back. Now again, you can tuck your right toes under. You bring the right hand down the leg, onto the calf, maybe it goes all the way to the heel, and it's something different. Big breath in. Release, cat pose. A little wagging of the tail, and then child's pose. Maybe embryo would feel better holding your heels behind you and hanging your shoulders, a little rocking. We're going to crawl forward to our bellies. A little bit more front body opening. Fold out the front body today. Opening to possibility. Using what is behind us as fortification, as our sort of our stability. So that which has given us strength, the stories of our lives, the experiences of our lives that build our strength, the columns, if you will, the pillars. They're what fortify us. So as you find your way to belly down, you can bend both knees, reach around, capture hands to feet, bow pose down Urasana. And then kick the feet into the hands, teardrop shape again. Keep breathing. When you're ready to release Makarasana, where we've been before, stack your forearms or your palms, rest your head down, legs long behind you, rock your hips side to side. There's nothing that's here by mistake. Everything is here for you to glean if you look at it that way. So the experiences that you've had, go for another bow if you wish, bending the knees, capturing hands to feet, and then kicking feet into hands. We get to extract what we want from our experiences, and a lot of times the ones that stand out are the ones that were challenging, but they always offer us some bit of wisdom. When you're ready to release, you can release. This time when you release, stack your palms or your forearms and windshield wiper your legs from side to side. Let your ankles fall to the side, one at a time, or together. Crisscross. You can do one more bow, maybe change it up and make it a little bit more like an inverted, reverted bridge, where you hold the ankles and dorsiflex your feet. You kind of keep your thigh bones connected or glued to the earth as you kick. This is a little bit more like the shape of bridge from the belly. Or any kind of back bend. You could also come onto your back body at this point and do a big old wheel. Eventually we'll meet in Supta Baddha Konasana. So just taking a few moments to explore what feels good to you. And then eventually meet me back body, soles of the feet together, knees wide. If you like the sensation of catching the thighs with the blocks, I think it feels kind of amazing, especially after lots of back bend work. It sort of it almost feels like it creates almost a hammock for that low back. But it doesn't have to work very hard. Everything can just soften down. Feels very restorative to me. You go where it feels good. If you did a big wheel, you might, almost like you're emulating that constructive rest, but let the knees fall side to side and kind of neutralize, even perhaps before hugging your knees under your chest, before you completely negate. No, negate is probably not the right word, but kind of have a soft place to land in the middle. And now take your left leg long and hug your right knee into your chest. Left leg long, right knee hugs in. Use your left hand to pull the right knee across the body. It's slow, it's deliberate. Right arm opens to the right. And you're just kind of thinking of the spine moving very incrementally and evenly in this rotation. Big breaths in and out. And back to center, hug the right knee into the chest. Give it a little squeeze. And take the right leg long and pause with both legs side by side in Shavasana just for a moment. And then the left knee hugs in. You give it a nice squeeze. Noticing how relaxed you can be through the rest of the body. That's not having to do anything. So your hands, your arms, there might be a little energy of pulling the thigh in, but the rest is just softening. Right hand pulls the left knee across the body. Left arm can open to the left. Knees full. Come back to center, hug the left knee in again. Left leg long. And you'll create the space that will become your Shavasana, final resting posture. So if anything is tickling your toes, or if there's some part of your clothing that's strangling you in some way, or, they're just, you get the things out of the way that could disturb you in a sense, so that you wash with stillness and an understanding of what you have created for yourself in this moment, in this time together, and also what you have shared with the others in the practice today. What might feel broken in you feels broken in me as well, and we have that connection. When we live from a wholehearted place, we reveal our underbellies, and we share what we feel embarrassed of and ashamed of and vulnerable, and we open ourselves to each other more fully. What does it mean to live from a wholehearted place to you? Courage, sincerity, courage to share the parts that might feel messier. In essence, just remembering who we are underneath it all, coming back to the truth. Take a few more deep breaths, and maybe with each breath, the inhale comes in a little deeper. And the exhale gets dragged out a little longer. Fully inhabiting your body and the space around you. Just kind of owning it.
And it feels like a good time to start to stir. You can wiggle your fingers and your toes, curl your fingers right into your palms and circle your wrists. Do the same with your feet, toes into the feet, circle the ankles. Maybe stretch the arms over the head and the toes away from the fingertips. It's a big yawn for your body. Eventually curling into a little ball and rolling off to one side or the other. And very gently building yourself into a seated position. And gently, just not exerting a lot of energy. It's just kind of rolling back up to a seat. And then with the eyes closed or with that gaze down towards the earth or kind of half-masked eyes, so you're not quite tuning into anything in particular yet. Can you look around inside your body? And what do you notice? And we'll start to bring the hands in front of the heart, maybe rubbing the palms together and just connecting right side body, left side body, feeling front and back, top and bottom, inside, outside, right side, left side. I said that already. Sit up nice and tall. I want to thank you so, so much for taking this time for you and also for sharing yourself with each other. I bow to you. Love, honor, and respect. Namaste.